Hi, Miss Amor, it's Villa, and you're watching Shodredux's YouTube channel.
Shodredux's video game commentaries. I would like to thank Vila oh so very much for doing that for my YouTube channel. It was pretty awesome and amazing and exciting, and words cannot express the awesomeness that I'm feeling right now, because you guys just need to go check out her music. I mean, she's an absolutely amazing vocalist and musician. So she does a lot of electronic music, and it's awesome, and everybody will love it, so go check her out. Before I get started on the BTR-90 commentary, I would like to also give a couple of shout-outs to you guys. The first shout-out goes to One Bear Cat FA8 for being the first person to send a message to me on YouTube about making the BRT-90 video. The next shout-out goes to
Flame World King.
Not because he just has an awesome name, but also because he left a comment on my actual channel itself. Now, with those shoutouts and awesomeness being said, let's get back to the video at hand, which is about the BTR-90. The BTR-90 is a vehicle specific to the Russian side, and it's actually an armored personnel carrier, much like its counterpart, the LAV-25 on the US side. To be able to fully utilize the BTR-90, I actually maxed out the training points in two areas. That was in the Tau missile system and into the enhanced smoke deployment. And you can locate those two under the equipment expertise under your training point area. The BTR-90 has 60 health in total, and the primary weapon that it has is a 30mm cannon. Even though it's a bigger round in comparison to the LAV-25's 25mm cannon, both the vehicles do the same amount of damage. The 30mm cannon on the BTR-90 is actually your primary weapon, and it's a multi-purpose weapon to use too, because you can take out air targets, land, sea, and even infantry in quite effective ways. Of course, you get 5 shots before it has to reload again, but reload time does not take too long, because it takes approximately 3 seconds for reload time. With the 30mm cannon against infantry, if you aim for the head, of course, it only takes 1 shot to kill them, but if you're aiming for the body, it will take 2. To destroy another enemy APC, it will take around 10 to 12 shots with the 30mm cannon, which really isn't bad. So the average amount of damage that the 30mm cannon tends to stay around for against all vehicle types seems to be around 60 to 90 damage per bullet. Against the air vehicles, though, it does seem that the 30mm cannon tends to do a little bit more damage on the higher side against those vehicles, so you can successfully take out a jet, if you're lucky, in all 5 shots of the cannon. The secondary fire that the BTR-90 has is the tow missile system. Of course, the tow missile system can actually be unlocked by going under your equipment expertise by just putting 1 training point in the tow missile system area. However, I recommend maxing it out to 3 training points, and the reason why is because it reduces the reload time of the tow missile. The tow missile is actually a visually guided missile, so essentially what you do is wherever you're looking after you fire the missile, it's going to go where you're looking at. But the tow missile is actually meant for taking out some of the more heavier armored vehicles to dwindle their health quite effectively. Because the tow missile actually does around 400 to 500 damage depending on where you hit your enemy target at. And the type of target, of course. Some prime examples of when I actually use the tow missile is when I'm up against another enemy APC or an actual enemy tank that I know is going to have considerably more health, so I use the tow missile in assistance with my 30mm cannon to take them out as fast as possible. The third capability you have in the BTR-90 when driving it is being able to deploy smoke. Being able to deploy smoke actually serves multiple purposes. One of the more common things I see the smoke used for is to provide cover to get away from certain areas or enemies, or be able to advance to a different location. One of the more advanced tactics that the smoke can be used for is if anybody actually tracer darts you and you have someone that's firing a rocket that's homing in on you, you can actually use the smoke to negate that, and usually you'll see the icon pop up for that. But the thing is, it usually carries a similar sound like someone's actually locking onto you with the tow missile. And the third and final thing that I tend to use the smoke for during my normal gameplay is instead of using it for myself to provide myself cover, I usually like to use it and help my teammates advance from certain positions. So I'll usually deploy smoke in a certain area that I know that they're going to try and assault by just rushing in there. So that way I just smoke it out and then they can advance further closer to the target flag that they need to capture. So it's just using the smoke to not only provide cover for myself, but to provide cover for my entire team. Of course, you don't have to apply any training points to unlock the smoke. It's automatically a part of the vehicle itself, but you do get the addition of being able to apply training points to enhance smoke deployment under the equipment expertise area, and what this does is it reduces the reload time of the smoke itself. Now that I've gone over the primary and secondary weapons along with the smoke for the APC, there's still some additional versatility that you have with the APC as well. The total amount of people that you can carry in the APC, including the driver, is 5. And the cool thing is the people riding with you aren't completely helpless either. They actually get machine guns to fire from within each window of the seat that they're sitting at. So of course you get a total of 4 machine guns. You get 1 being able to be fired on your left, 1 on your right, and you get 2 machine guns in the back of the BTR-90. A really good advanced tactic that you can do with the APCs in general is if you can at least get 2 guys to drive with you and sit in the F4 and F5 seats, or the back seats of the APC, you can actually drive backwards and look backwards with your cannon too while you're driving, of course, and have additional firing support from your teammates. So you'll have 2 people firing the machine guns while you're also driving and able to fire your APC cannon as well. So driving backwards with your teammates will give you additional support for firing where you're driving. So it's a good tactic to use. As far as this tactic goes with the BTR-90 though, your field of view is a little bit lessened due to the fact of the turret actually being in the front of the APC versus the LAV-25s being in the back of the APC. So, the LAV-25 tends to have a little bit of the advantage being able to do that tactic, but you can do it, just as effectively with the BTR-90, as long as your teammates are doing their job, from the back. One of the negative differences that I've seen between the BTR-90 and the LAV-25 is that the BTR-90 is a little bit bigger than the LAV-25, so it's not as easy to hide from certain enemies and just being able to hide in general or being able to flank around. But due to the fact that the APCs in this game are amphibious, which means they are capable of driving in water without blowing up or drowning, the BTR-90 actually has less surface to be able to be spot or hit when it's actually driving in the water in comparison to the LAV-25. And just to explain this a little bit better, the BTR-90 actually sits more flush in the water from the top of it where the turret actually sits on the APC. Whereas the LAV-25 doesn't tend to sit as level from its top half because it's not leveled out from the water. It tends to stick up a little bit more. One of the other advantages that the BTR-90 has over the LAV-25 is that even though the tires are very weak on the APCs in general and they can take damage even from small arms fire, the BTR-90 does not have a tire on the front of it like the LAV-25 does. So if anybody shoots that top tire on the LAV-25, you can do damage to it, whereas the BTR-90 doesn't have that disadvantage. Just to conclude the video about the BTR-90, it's an extremely versatile vehicle that you can use against all types of situations. Air, land, sea, infantry, I mean, you name it, you can pretty much take it out with it. So anybody that actually lands an APC in general can do quite a bit of damage if they know how to use it. That's all I got about the BTR-90, but I do have a couple of updates before I go, guys. First off, I'm actually having a giveaway, and once I reach 5,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a free copy of Killing Floor to one lucky person. So I guess if you guys want me to be able to give the gift away faster, I guess just hook me up with some more subscribers, or if you're content with waiting until then, that's fine too. Also, one last thing, I did update my website with a new look that's actually going for some future stuff that I'm going to be doing outside of Battlefield, but it is going to be gaming stuff, so don't worry there. But go check it out, see what you think, or leave me a comment, or keep checking back there. Thank you guys so much for watching and continued support, and I'll see you all next time.